kind of a discussion, kind of a rant, little bit of both. This is going to be my pro-con video of the Skyrim Remastered, Elder Scrolls 5 Remastered, specifically for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. This game was released in November. Can't remember what day specifically, but it was in November. And I got it on launch day. I do have the PS4 version, which will slightly alter my say in this. So to begin with, we're going to start with the pros, and obviously a Skyrim Remastered was warranted by a lot of us. A lot of people wanted to see this game get a remaster, have better visuals that are maybe not up to, but close to PC specs. And for the most part, I'd say that's exactly what we got. As you can see, the map itself does look a little bit finer, a little bit better. The weather patterns, the rocks, the snow, the rocks behind the snow, they look... Basically, the textures have been done. The PC guys, this is nothing new. There have already been mods that have come out to, re-render everything into a better high definition. Secondly, it does include all of the DLC, which is what I am doing right now as you guys are watching this, the Dawnguard DLC. So this does come with Dawnguard, Hearthfire, and Dragonborn, all three DLCs that were originally released with the Elder Scrolls 5. Now, this is nothing new for Skyrim vets. Like I said, I played this game right as it came out. Like, did not hesitate, did not wait.
I'm hoping to run my own inn someday.
And as you can tell my voice, there is a little bit of disappointment. I'm not gonna lie, I am a little bit disappointed, but not majorly, I guess you could say. The DLCs are a good addition. If anything, I did highly expect them to have the DLC, for the fact that I also bought Legendary Edition of this game when that was the new thing for Skyrim, was everybody was getting the Legendary Edition, which had all the DLC onto one disc. You didn't have to rebuy. You'd only, for those people that were willing to do it, it's you rebuy Skyrim and you get DLC. So for me, I actually lost a copy of Skyrim, so when the Legendary Edition came out, it was good timing for me. I was wanting to get a new copy of Skyrim, and the Legendary version came out. I believe that was 2013. God, it's been a while, 3-4 years or so. But the DLCs are, like I said, they're kind of warranted. If they don't have the DLC in there, it's like, then why did you guys, offer? I'm not going to rebuy DLC. Some people thought that Bethesda was just trying to, maybe they were, but that they were just trying to make extra money by, re-releasing a game that's already been out. Why are they attacking?
You have committed crimes against Skyrim and her people. What say you in your defense?
Pay off my bounty, or tell me to look the other way. How about you fuck off? Anyways. So the DLC, like I said, had to be there. It was warranted. No way that we wouldn't have it there if you asked. Now, the replayability for this is also one of the greatest factors. The fact that you can sink hundreds and hundreds of hours into this game and then come back for more. You can come back and play it completely different, in a different way, choose different sides. Right now, I went with the Imperials. That's why it says he's an Imperial soldier. I chose to fight with the Empire. You can come back, fight with the Rebellion. You can choose to go with the Stormcloaks or with the Imperials. You can choose to go with the Blades or the Dragons, the Dawnguard, or the Vampires, whichever faction you want. And that's the thing about Skyrim, is this is a few, I would truly say few RPG games that really let you choose the way you want to play. the type of combat, you know, whether or not you want to use magic, whether or not you want to use weapons, whether or not you want to use a conjured sword, as I am doing right now, so that you use both magic and one-handed. There's a lot that you can do. So like I said, the replayability is just one of its greatest factors there. For those of us that played Skyrim before the remaster, I'm just gonna say it like that, you know, but for the people that played it before the remastered version came out, know that this game had, and still has, tons of replayability, even without the remaster. So if you are willing to pay that $60 price line or $20 price line if you are stuck on the previous gen or are on PC, then it's definitely worth it. If you are in one of my shoes and you have a newer console and you want this game again, you want to replay it on the next gen, it may or may not be worth that $60 price tag. Now coming back to Skyrim, I was very, very excited for this game, to be honest with you, because I didn't really play Skyrim. I didn't really get a good grind in on Skyrim as I wanted to. There was a lot of paths I didn't take, and a lot of things I did not do, did not go and investigate, side quests I never figured out. I can't even recall if I completed all of the Daedric quests on one profile. I did do every single Daedric quest.
One day,
but
I'm going to be
can't. I don't think I ever had it on one profile until I could, before I would lose the game, or the game would, I mean, honestly, probably got stolen. I don't think it broke or anything. I think someone just saw a copy of Skyrim together. Anyway, I'm rambling. Excuse me. Coming back to Skyrim was just, it was a big ordeal for me. And it was very, nostalgic. That's the word I was thinking. It was very nostalgic. Coming back, you know, re-seeing the cities, re-seeing the openings, seeing the lighting effects, noticing that these guys actually went through this game and here are all the changes they made and everything they did. You definitely see where Bethesda wanted to pick things up that they may have originally not gotten right with Skyrim's original release. So the whole remaster release could give it more fuel to say, okay, this is the game that we truly wanted it to be. Another pro is the mods. Now, every Xbox One and PS4 both get mods. Given this is where I said this was going to slightly factor down in my review for the fact that I have a PS4. The PlayStation 4 does not have as many mods as the Xbox One. Sony did not want to have nude mods or lightsaber mods or God mode mods or anything like that. Basically, you can make it so more greenery is here. The computers, the CPU, I think are intelligent, have higher carrying weight, faster health regeneration. Basically, you can add stats to things, but you can't actually alter them.
When the Empire surrendered to the Almighty.
So for me, that's a really big drawback for the PlayStation community, for the fact that all of us are not getting the mods that we originally were promised. When, okay, maybe not promised with, I'm going to go back a little bit. I know I'm backtracking a little bit. When Todd Howard was announcing Fallout 4 in was it 15? Yeah, it was 2015 it got announced. It got announced a few months before its release. And he confirmed console mods on both Xbox and PlayStation 4. And at the time, they were going to be the same mods, you know, either one. If anything, the PlayStation was going to have a slight advantage for the graphical advantage. But now we are at a disadvantage for the fact we don't even have mods that Xbox users have. And like I said, that's only a drawback for PlayStation 4 users. Xbox One users are not affected by that. Mods are great for them. I haven't personally delved into the Xbox One mods. I have done a little bit on a friend's gaming laptop. He had a really good gaming laptop, but high enough end that it could run Skyrim. And got to fuck around with that a little bit. Mods are more of a... I like doing the quests. I like continuing my characters, so I don't really fuck with mods a lot. But yeah, that is the end of the mod things. PlayStation didn't get as much mods as we should have. So the last pro that I'm going to add on this, and this is... it could not be true, and that is the fact that Skyrim is going to get a Nintendo port. Now, to say that might not come true is the fact that Nintendo has bailed on us before with shit, so I'm not going to sit here and say, you know, it's definitely happening when, for all I know, you know, it's not. It would be very cool to see it come to Nintendo. Personally, I do want to get a Switch. I keep fucking forgetting it's called a Switch. I personally do want to have a Nintendo Switch. I didn't really like the Wii U. I didn't like the way it looked. I had a Wii. I actually did a lot of gaming on the Wii, and that was my last Nintendo console. I did, you know, since then I have picked up a 3DS, obviously, and I have played, you know, other Pokemon games, if you guys have actually seen other videos on my channel. Having Skyrim come to Nintendo would be one of the best fucking things ever, for the fact that all three fanboys would be able to have this game. And I don't know about, honestly, I don't even know if Nintendo would support mods at all. Like, they might, I could see them just totally upright being like, you know what, fuck mods, we're just not gonna do mods. I really hope that it doesn't, but I can definitely see it, and again, that's a slight drawback for me. It would be a great thing for it to come to Nintendo. It is, by all rights and means, it is going to be on Nintendo. The only thing that will get me to say that it's not is, again, when we hear that it isn't. As for now, it is still being... It may not be a launch title, per se, but it is going to be on the Switch. It is going to be happening. So, alright. Moving on to the cons, the negatives of this. The frame rate drops. I have experienced multiple times that when I am when my companion are engaged in combat, we're both using spells, even the enemy is using spells. I don't know if this is on Xbox One, maybe this is just my PS4, maybe it's just me, but the frame rate will fucking drop dramatically. It will go from, like, I'm assuming this is 30 frames per second, and it will drop to like 10. Maybe this is 60. I doubt it. I'm pretty sure this is 30. But the frame rate would just drop to the point that I would just turn off, restart the system, and have to restart. And, you know, that really bothers me for the fact that that also happened on PS3, that also happened on Xbox 360. Now, when Skyrim was originally released, I was an Xbox person. I played it solely on 360. Given I eventually did get a PS3, I did play Fallout 3 in New Vegas on PS3. I never played Skyrim on PS3 because I heard that it was just, the DLC made it unplayable. So I was a little bit like, when I bought my PS4, I was, you know, a little bit worried, thinking, you know, I hope that Skyrim runs like the way it did on 360 on PS4 with the upgraded specs. For those of you that understand what I mean by that, the 360 ran it pretty well for a console. The PS3 did not. The PS3 was just, whatever Sony did, they just made it harder for games like Bethesda to make ports. So the PS4 fixed that.
It's so open.
But there were still frame rate drops, and I don't understand that. You know, this game has been out for 6 years now. Why are we still having these problems? That, you know, these shouldn't have been out past the second or third year of its release. Anyway, the next con I have, again, this one might just be me, something I've noticed. Naked? What? Oh shit! Yes, I am. Thank you. Where the fuck? Okay, I guess we're wearing the Nordic. was that? Let's see, do that.
Lightly armored
No
means
more
light on your feet.
douchebag. No more
Smart.
climbing up the mountains. If anything, I don't know if I can actually show you it, but you know, you'll be climbing up a mountain, and let's say you don't want to actually take the path. You just want to hit triangle, just jump up the rocks until you get all the way to the top. You can do that to a certain point, but I have noticed that there is an invisible line at a certain point of each and every single mountain that you cannot pass this point. You cannot get higher from this point throughout the entire map. Doesn't matter if I'm at this mountain, that mountain, that mountain. It's all affected. That you can no longer do that. And you know, I'm not going to say that's a huge dick move. I can somewhat understand why Bethesda doesn't want people to do that. Because, like, you know, go actually, you know, take the path, see the path that we wanted you to take and explore. At the same time, I could also see them, you know, it's your game. Do what you want to do with it. So why is it that that was patched? I was just bitching that they didn't patch something, and now I'm bitching that they patched something. I'm bipolar as fuck, right? Anyways. There's one thing that it made things so much easier, and I'm gonna try this quest again. And they took that out, and I can't make sense to why. Like, for me, like I said, the only reasonable sense it makes is they just wanted you to play the game. They wanted you to play it the way they wanted you to see it. It's not a big thing, but, you know, minor con. Moving on. There is no quote-unquote new content. Now, when I say that, you know, for people that never played Skyrim, or maybe never played the DLC, now there is new content.
Waste.
But I played all of these DLCs. You know, I've been to all these cities. I've done all these quests. I've been to all these areas. I've seen all of this. They didn't add anything.
Your skin's as pale as
specifically into
snow. Scared of sunlight or something?
Yes. How can you even see my whatever? There's no new content, so I mean, everybody, like I said, that played Skyrim previously, this isn't anything new to them. You know, we're not getting anything new. We're not seeing any new content. You know, they're not gonna, at least as far as to my knowledge, they're not gonna have a surprise final DLC. Be like, oh, by the way, you know, this wasn't ever released with the original game, but with the remaster, we're adding in this. And I mean, I would necessarily even be willing to pay for it if it was, you know, a big enough final DLC to say, you know, maybe this ties into Elder Scrolls 6, or, you know, will tie into Elder Scrolls 6, a conclusion to the Dovahkiin storyline, or, you know, continuation to the Dovahkiin storyline. One or the other. But they just never added that, and to me it was just a really big setback, because I was really hoping that they would add something into this that, you know, I'm trying to think of how to like say it. There's nothing new for people that, you know, rebought this. There's no incentive to say, here's a reason to make that level 80 to 150 character again, so that you can play this DLC or find this hidden quest or get that, you know, something along the lines that would have made it for people that have rebought in this game to have a little bit, you know, something brand new. That, you know, this is something no other, you know, people on PC haven't gotten this. This wasn't released on 360 or PS3. You know, this was all just ground up for the Xbox One and PS4 and, you know, PC as of the remaster release date. I think that would have been a huge positive, that they could have added more stuff to this game, given it is a remaster, so maybe they do not necessarily want to, you know, make the next fucking Bethesda Elder Scrolls game, but at the same time, if you can add stuff to this, I mean, I know they're doing Elder Scrolls Online, and I mean, ZeniMax just honestly screwed that game up so bad to the point that I don't even want to play. I might, you know, actually go back to it one day and I think about it if I play it on PC and have a few friends. Maybe then I would, you know, replay that game. But they add new content to that, so why can't they add new content to this, you know? Now, I think I already went over the mods. PlayStation mods are limited as opposed to Xbox. Already been over that. My final con is the $60 price warrant. We are being charged a full $59.99 for a game that a lot of us we've already bought. In some cases, this is my third or fourth time purchasing this game, so that's like, you know, a few $100, you know, on one game. I just think that was too high. You know, $39.99 would have been a perfect price. That, you know, for people that, you know, have never played this game, you know, it's not that we're not asking, you know, $40. You know, that's as much as the 3DS game is. It's not a very high bargain. For people that we've replayed this game. I mean, this is I can't even tell you how many times I've played this game. It's like my millionth playthrough of this game. And again, I don't have a problem with the price. Why the full price for a game that has been out for years that we're just getting a restart for PC users? Nothing to do, you know, whatsoever. There was no point in buying them now. You know? It was just for the console people, just for people that on console, if you wanted to see more, you know, you can get more. The $60 was just a high price for me. I did not hesitate to buy it. I did not sit there and think, do I really want to do this? Fuck yes, I'm going to do this. There's no way in hell I'm not going to do this. Like, 25% less than 10 smells for a complete dawn. Huh. I don't know. It's just, I mean, I know I keep like re-saying it, but one of those things that really kind of got me that should not have been that much. Should not have been that high of a price. Just shouldn't have. So hopefully, you know, it gets the profit that it needs. Hopefully, you know, maybe one day we can do a Fallout 3. Honestly, I would rather have a Fallout New Vegas remaster. That, yes, that is what I want. I would never leave that game ever. But yeah, that is my spiel, guys. I know it was kind of a ramble, but I had a few things I wanted to say. And yeah, still those guys for you. You guys watch me do that. Definitely going to be putting a lot more since playing Fallout 4 a lot. That with the railroad. Went with the railroad for that one. It was honestly a last minute split decision between the railroad and the Dark Brother. Not Dark Brother, but that's this. Brotherhood of Steel. That was kind of cool. To be honest. Well, he probably knows what I am. Probably knows that I'm a vampire. Switch. Alrighty, guys. For those of you that watch, thank you. Do appreciate it. You know, I hope that I helped you guys narrow down your decision on whether or not you want to get this game. And anyways, this is the Instagamer One and out. Thank you guys for watching.